Welcome back to the Washington College Sports Spotlight today. We're featuring Teresa Draves. Teresa, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, obviously, we're into the spring semester now, but before we start looking towards the future, tell me a little bit about what your season entailed. Obviously, just recently wrapped up. What were some of the things you were able to do here this season for Washington?
Um, well, I guess regarding practices, we practiced for, I would say, so we started in September and then finished up in February. So it was a pretty long season. We got to go to Florida for a training trip for a week. And then we were back on campus for 2 more weeks training. And then let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was a pretty long season, but it was great. We did a lot of things together as a team. Really supportive at practices, and a lot of improvements in the weight room too. That was a big focus this year. I think getting better in there, and Josh really helped with that too. And Josh Brown, he was our trainer for the year. So yeah.
So you touched on a little bit there. Obviously, as swimmers, you guys have some of the longer seasons of any of the student athletes on campus. Tell me a little bit about the grind of that longer season. And then, if you don't mind, tell me a little bit about what that team trip to Florida was like for you guys.
Sure. Yeah, so swim seasons are really long because, as opposed to other sports, I guess, a week out of the pool is like, even just a week not swimming is really detrimental to your entire season. So it takes a long time to get back into shape. Like, you could be in shape on land, obviously, if you can run, you can lift, but then if you're not getting in the water, it's really, really hard to get back into the groove. So we train for a long time before we even have our first meet. And then it's just about staying in the water. So that's actually why we only have 2 weeks off during winter break, so that we can come back and train together. So that's just why it's just so long. And also, tapering for our last meet takes a while too, because it's all about the yardages. There's just a lot that goes into it. Our coaches have different sections blocked off throughout the year to focus on different things, and the yardages, they fluctuate throughout to make sure that at the end, when we finally go down a lot in yardage, it works. And so, yeah, in Florida, it was hard. We had 2 practices every day, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. We did have one day where we had off, and we got to go canoeing and kayaking, which was great. But it was very tiring. It was pretty much wake up, practice, go back, eat, nap, and then practice again, eat, sleep. So it's a great bonding experience, and it's a lot of fun because we're not at Washington College training. But it's really, really hard. But I mean, it's worth it in the end. As long as you work really hard at that point in the season, you usually have a pretty good taper and do well at conferences.
So yeah, tell me a little bit about what the story of the season was for the women's team, because there's a lot, I know, just from a surface level, of improvements that were made across the team this year. Tell me a little bit about what the season was like for you guys.
Sure, yeah. So the women's team, we are a lot bigger than we've ever been. We have a lot of variety of different swimmers. So it was really amazing to see everyone. I don't know. There was just so many different people we could put so many different places. So that was really exciting to see. And just having that many people, and whenever we did team events, it was really great. So I think that helped in the improvements, honestly, of everyone, because there was so much support and backing, and we had so much fun together. Everyone was behind each other's lanes all the time. And it was just an inclusive atmosphere, I think, more so than we've ever had before. So I think that really contributed. And yeah, as a captain, I loved leading those girls. I think there's a lot of leaders that are coming up, especially in the freshman class. And I'm really, really excited to see where they can go. Because, we won mid-season. So that was amazing to see. And I have never, like, in all 4 years here, I have never seen this team, both the women's and the men's, as cohesive as they are now, and how hard they work is just, I don't know, it gives me a lot of hope for the future of the team, I would say.
So going back a little bit here, looking, I guess, back a few years, as a program as a whole, what were some of the things that drew you to Washington College initially when you decided to come here?
Yeah, so my dad coached me my whole life. So he had sent swimmers here before. So he said, why don't you check it out? So I visited, and I loved the coach, Matt Harris, who was here. He was a great guy. And they also had the assistant coach, Emily Rollo. She was great as well. So I really liked them, but I also mostly liked the team atmosphere, at least on the women's team. They were very welcoming. There were some great, like, personalities. And I also just felt like I fit in at this school, not just on the swimming side of things. And my times were around the right times, I guess. And I saw some records I could maybe break. But I just felt so welcomed here by everyone. Whenever I would walk through campus, everyone would be saying hello and smiling at each other. And I just like that kind of atmosphere, very close knit. And yeah, that's one of the main reasons, probably.
So you touched on it a bit there, but coming into this year and now, I guess, being able to reflect on it now at the end, what were some of the goals that you set for yourself that you were able to reach throughout the season?
Yeah. So yeah, coming to the year, I had no expectations at all, honestly, because COVID and everything. I was not able to train for so long. Like I said, 1 week out of the pool is awful. Imagine 4 months. So it was tough. But then I came in, and I think having the team there backing each other, I was able to train really hard. And then I kind of got my mindset. I was like, I'm going to get that 400 IM record. And I was also looking at the 200 IM record. I actually did not have my sights set on the 200 breast record at all, which I ended up getting, which was amazing. But I love that event so much. And I just thought every time I swim it, I just wanted to have fun with it. And then I was at conferences, and I was 2 seconds away, and I had no idea until my coach told me. So that was great, because then going into finals, I was like, okay, I can get this. And I had already gotten the 400 IM record, which was that was the one record I came into this school wanting so bad the entire time, and I finally got it my senior year. So that was great. I would say that record. I was really close to the 200 IM record, a half a second off, but that's all right. We have a lot of great swimmers, like especially the freshmen, who I think can take that down. So yeah.
So now that you are looking forward, tell me a little bit about what your major and what your studies have been at Washington and what your post grad plans are as of right now.
Yeah, so I am a sociology major and a psych minor, poli-sci minor, and the Justice Law and Society minor / concentration. So I'm kind of like on the pre-law end of things. So I'm planning on going to law school next year. One of my top choices is Catholic, so I'm crossing my fingers, hopefully. But yeah, so after that, maybe be a family law lawyer. I really like working with kids, so child custody type of things. But yeah, that's the plan. That's the goal.
I guess just to put a bow on things here, now that you've had 4 years experiencing this program and you've got to sort of serve as a mentor for some of the underclassmen on the team, what do you think the future holds for this group that you're leaving behind?
I think it's going to be great. Like I said before, I think there's so many amazing young leaders on our team right now. Everyone works really, really hard, and they keep each other accountable, which is great. And I think they just need to keep that up, keep up the inclusivity that they've been having this year, because we've never had it like that on our team. We've never had so much support. And it's been great to see our team build up and support each other like that. So I think that there's going to be a lot more records broken. I think that I'm hoping that there's going to be a lot more best times, maybe even a few NCAA qualifiers, some conference champions. I'm really, really excited. Definitely going to follow. I'm definitely going to come to a few meets and watch them swim. And there's always things to improve on. And this year being Phil's first year, I think he did an incredible job being head coach. And I think he also is going to make this team, even better than it already was this year. So I'm really excited to see how everyone does and how Phil helps this team excel in the future.